Welcome and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Understanding the New PMP Exam. As many of you know, the new PMP exam is now in effect. Over the past few days, you have probably seen plenty of posts, videos, articles, and discussions about the new exam. Some say it's more agile focus, some say the format has completely changed, while others are still trying to understand what these changes actually mean for their preparation. With so much information out there, it's easy to feel uncertain about where to start. And that's exactly why we have arranged today's session. Over the next hour, we'll help you understand what today's PMP exam actually expects, what has changed, what has remained the same, and how you can approach your preparation with confidence. One more thing before we begin. If you are planning to pursue your PMP certification, I would encourage you to stay with us until the very end of today's session. We'll be sharing an exclusive attendee benefit that's available only for participants joining us today. So make sure you stay till the end. Now, upon saying that, I would like to talk about Knowlathon. Before we begin, let me introduce you to what we are and what exactly we do. At Knowlathon, we believe every successful certification journey begins with clarity. For over a decade, we have helped IT and project management professionals build globally recognized skills through accredited training, experienced trainers, and practical learning. Today's webinar reflects the same philosophy, helping you make informed decisions before you begin your PMP preparation. It's now my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Bipin Karyakarte, sir. He is a PMI certified trainer and People Cert certified Prince 2 7 trainer with over 35 years of experience in program management, delivery leadership, and project management. He has trained and mentored professionals across industries and brings extensive real-world project management experience to today's discussion. We are delighted to have him with us. Bipin sir, thank you so much for joining us today. Over to
Thanks,
you.
Kunal. Thanks, Kunal. Thanks for a nice introduction and thanks for your kind words. Uh, on behalf of Knowlathon and everybody at Knowlathon, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. Nice to see such a good crowd and people who are very much interested in doing the PMP, and that's why probably they have joined us today. Okay. So, as Kunal rightly said, we have organized this webinar to address some of the ambiguities, some of the confusions that prevail in the market about the new PMP exam. Okay. People have been asking us for long because the PMBOK 8, which is the latest version, released about late last year, and the exam format changed recently last week, right? This was going on for some time. The time gap between release of PMBOK 8 and then starting of the new exam structure, etc. There was quite a bit of a gap in between, so people were confused first and foremost, what exactly is PMBOK 8 and then what is the new exam, etc., and how the PMBOK 8 will affect the new exam. Okay, is there any noticeable change in the exam strategy, the way you give the exam, etc.? So there were a lot of questions that were coming to us, right? And we wanted to organize this seminar uh, uh, sometime last week itself, but then we thought it would be prudent for us to wait for the actual exam to roll out because PMI did not reveal too many things about the exam, understandably so. So we waited, and now the exams have been rolled out. And at Knowlathon, we have been having quite a steady flow of people who have been giving the exam. So today, when we speak about the new exam, we speak after having assisted a few of our colleagues or professional colleagues to pass the exam. Okay, so today in this particular webinar, we will try to be brief, at the same time try to be elaborative wherever required, because obviously it's not going to be very easy, or it's not going to be possible to talk about each and everything in the span of 35-45 minutes, because we also need to take some question answers, etc. So we will go through this. Please, if you have any questions, if you have any need for any assistance, etc., do drop a message in the Q&A box. I believe Q&A box is open for everybody, and make a good use of it. Okay. So today we will talk about the new PMP exam landscape. Okay. And not only the,
Sir,
yeah,
actually, are you talking like which slide are you talking about? Because I'm only able to see the introduction slide only. That's
I'm
why.
still there only. I have not yet moved
Oh,
from
oh,
there.
okay, okay, okay. No issues, sir.
Okay.
No issues. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Just,
Thank you,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So we are not only going to talk about exam, we are also going to talk about how do you prepare for the exam. Again, these are all pointers, right? And we at Knowlathon are available for you for further discussions, further guidance, the course, and during the course also we discuss on these ideas to a great extent. So with this understanding and with this background, let me start with the today's presentation and the agenda. So brief about myself. My name is Bipin Karyakarte. I have almost 35, 36 years of experience in delivery, leadership and transformation. I have been working in India and away from India as well. I have worked in many domains, functional domains like manufacturing, banking, pharmaceuticals, etc. I come with authorized trainership from PMI for PMP, and I'm also certified Prince 2 trainer, certified by People Cert. Okay. I hope those who are attending today have idea about what is PMP and what is Prince 2. Though we are not going to talk about Prince 2 today, but still it is a kind of a something parallel to PMP, some certification in project management. But today we are going to talk about PMP. So, as I said, why this webinar? Uh, the exam has evolved, the body of knowledge has evolved, right? We have moved from 7 to 8, that is PMBOK 7 to 8. By the way, those who may not know, PMBOK means project management body of knowledge. In popular parlance, it is called as PMBOK. And anybody who does PMP or is doing PMP will call it as a PMBOK. So now we have evolved from PMBOK 7 to 8. Exam also has evolved. So we also need to evolve with the exam, right? So this webinar is designed to help you to understand the changes, adapt to your mindset and prepare with confidence, right? And understand the new landscape. Okay. Shift your mindset, build the right preparation strategy, increase your chances of success, right? So these are all the objectives of today's webinar. The agenda would be, we will first talk a little bit about the new exam landscape, the exam structure and the content outline, the new mindset, new approach, preparation strategy that works, resources, learning path, and tips. Okay. At the end, we'll be closing out with a Q&A session. Uh, and then, as Kunal said, at the end, we will also be publishing an exclusive offer for those who are attending today. Let's move on. So first and foremost, this question used to come to me during my training sessions, which I used to conduct, and also to Knowlathon as a generic question. Why does PMI keep changing the exam and the PMBOK and etc. Right? The simple answer is, the world today is very dynamic thing, especially in the professional segments like project management, because of the new technologies. uh, the new technologies bring new perspectives, new challenges, and then the project managers will have to adjust themselves to meet those challenges and adapt those perspectives, okay, or don the hat of the new technologies, etc. So based on that, PMI keeps evolving, PMI keeps adding more meat to the matter. Okay, so the world is evolving, industry needs are changing. Okay, organizations need project managers who can deliver uh, uh, as per their current expectations, right? They don't want somebody who has done project management certifications 20 years back, right? They want people who are at the cutting edge. They want people who are leading the change, right? So industry needs are changing. Now slowly the focus is now more on what truly matters, and the earlier focus or the earlier PMBOK used to have a different focus, but now the PMBOK that is in effect right now has a completely different revamped focus, rather I would say. Raise the standard, updates ensure that PMP certifications remain rigorous, relevant, and respected worldwide, and continuous improvement. Those who might have been doing agile or some latest concepts in project management, following latest concepts in project management, will know that today continuous improvement is one of the buzzwords, one of the key buzzwords in the market. So when PMI preaches continuous improvement, it is but natural for PMI to follow the continuous improvement path, right? So emerging technologies, changing workplaces, business value, higher standards, adapt and improve. So these are all the reasons because of which PMI keeps uh, changing the PMP exam structure. When I say changing, it is change for the better. Okay, it is improvement or evolution. So what exactly has changed? Okay, so the PMP exam has been updated to reflect the evolving needs, etc. Right. So here are the major categories of change. Right. There are many changes, but we will talk about the categories. So there is something called as the ECO, and this ECO was in effect for the earlier exam as well. ECO stands for exam content outline. Right. So this exam content outline is basically a kind of a syllabus, though PMBOK is a kind of a body of knowledge out of which syllabus is something where which domains will have what kind of weightage, etc. So those kind of things are specifically mentioned in the ECO. For all those who are interested to go ahead and do the PMP exam in the next few days, ECO is freely available on PMI website. You can download, you can go ahead, go through it, okay, and you will have a fairly good idea about what exactly an ECO is. But for our today's session, suffice to know and understand that the ECO has gone for change, gone for improvement. There are three domains we will see in a while. There are three domains the body of knowledge is divided into, and the weightages for each of those domains has shifted. Now there is a concept of tasks and enablers. These new tasks and enablers introduced to represent the modern project work. PMBOK 8, as we have seen some time back, that PMBOK 8 is now in effect, okay, and which is the exam is now more aligned with the PMBOK 8. Okay, till now there was a situation where PMBOK 8 was already there, but the exam was still kind of in a gray area. But now it is very clear. PMBOK 8 is the guiding document, and the exam is now completely aligned with the principles and contents of PMBOK 8. There is a greater emphasis on artificial intelligence, which is again another buzzword and a cutting edge technology today. The AI emphasis makes or brings a lot of different concepts. Now there is a stronger focus on sustainability. Sustainability is again another important, especially in the global arena. Different types of sustainabilities. We will see a few of them as we go along. Another tighter focus or enhanced focus on governance, compliance, and ethical decision making. Okay, of course, those who have been talking about doing the project management certification, needless to say, they would have been doing some kind of a project management activities all these days. So might be aware of governance and compliance, but PMI has a separate PMI's ethical code of conduct. It's a document again, which is freely available on the PMI website. PMI expects every project manager and especially those who are doing the PMP certification to always do what is right. to do what is ethical. And what is ethical? That is defined in the PMI's code of conduct, ethical code of conduct. So there is a greater emphasis on governance, compliance, and ethical decision making. The question styles from a specific exam perspective, this is the most important part. The question styles have changed, updated question types and formats to assess application, analysis, and decision making, right? So till now the questions were asked in a different fashion. Nowadays, since the 9th of July, some different question formats have been introduced. Okay, so this is just in a nutshell about the what exactly has changed. So again, before and after comparison, I'll just quickly go through, because then this entire webinar will be available on Knowlathon's YouTube channel post this session today. So you can leisurely go through this, but I'll just quickly touch upon the exam content outline has changed, domain weightages, tasks and enablers, limited or indirect focus on AI, but now the AI is integrated in every process, every part of PMBOK, right? Sustainability, again, the same thing. It has been integrated. Governance is strengthened and enhanced scenario based question style. So now we have more complex, and there will be some kind of a scenario given to you. It will be a kind of a lengthy scenario. It is expected that the candidates will read the scenario, understand the situation. So this is one part of it. Once the situation is understood, based on that, PMP exam will have certain questions. So while answering those questions, you have to keep that situation in mind. The what are the pushes and pulls on the project manager, what are the constraints, what are the enabling factors, etc. And also keep in mind the ethical part of it, and then choose the right answer, right? So these are the things, kind of a comparative for before and after the exam changes. The exam structure, 180 questions, 230 minutes is the duration. There are two optional breaks. One important thing I would like to point out when we talk about the breaks, you do a lot of other certifications, but PMP exam is one of those exams which stand out very clearly because it is almost 4 hours. 230 minutes is almost 4 hours, including breaks and everything. It becomes almost 4 hours, right? It is not just a question of your mental tiredness, mental fatigue. It is also a question of your body physical fatigue, right? You have to sit put in a chair, completely focused on the screen for 4 long hours, right? In those 4 hours, you have to read each and every word that comes on the screen, understand it, make some sense out of it, apply the knowledge, come to a proper answer, click the answer, etc. So breaks are very much required. uh, Earlier there used to be uh, one break after 60 questions. So there were 3 sections of 60 questions each. For some reason, PMI has now changed it, that now the first break comes just after the 10 questions and the second break comes somewhere in between, right? But there are two optional breaks, 3 sections. Question formats are multiple choice, multiple response, matching, hotspot, drag and drop, and a lot of other interactive formats have been uh, put in there. Question style, majorly now scenario based, application oriented, interpretation of charts, tables, and project visuals. This is something enhanced, newly enhanced part. They will give you a chart, or they will show you a graph, or they will show you a table of data. They will uh, ask you questions based on that. They will ask you to interpret, right? So for example, they will show you a graph, and then they will say if this project is underperforming, overperforming, in the cost area, how it is performing, etc. So basically the interpretation part, right? So not only the application oriented, but we can also see interpretation oriented of visual exhibits, right? So the exam is no longer about remembering the facts, right? It evaluates your ability to apply project management concepts in realistic situations. Okay, and 180 questions in 230 minutes. does apply some pressure on you, right? Don't worry, there are ways to handle this, there are ways to get prepared for this, but we need to be aware, right? So in realistic situations, how you will behave as a project manager is really being tested here. So these are the old numbers, the old ECO, that is exam content outline. There are three domains: people, processes, and business environment. So people was having a weightage of 42%, processes was the most dominant 50%, and business environment. Just to give you in a nutshell, people are mostly about human resources, your leadership qualities, how do you support the team to perform, how do you build a team, how do you engage with your stakeholders, how do you make use of your communication, soft skills, etc. Processes, we are talking more about how you plan your work, how do you lay down the processes so that you can monitor, you can execute, monitor, and supervise the work, and you can get the reviews, your project reviews, etc., properly done, right? So the processes, which was the major focus, and when I say processes, it was more about processes, tools, all those things, right? And a business environment, right? So every project exists in a unique business environment, and the environment around the project, that is within the organization and outside the organization, how you as a project manager are aware of that environment and how it affects you in the project, right? So, and how do you align your projects with organizational strategy, drive benefits, etc. So this was the situation before the changes in the exam, right? So people was 42%, process being the most dominant one, and the business environment was the lowest at 8%. Okay, but now what has happened is they have drastically increased the business environment from 8 directly to 26%. Okay, that is almost a 300% increase. They have reduced the processes from 50 to 41, and then they have reduced people from 42 to 33%. Okay, so it doesn't mean that there is no focus on people and processes, but now the business environment has drastically been enhanced, and from 8 it goes directly to 26%. Your PMBOK reflects this reality. So this is one important thing that you should keep in mind before you start preparing. Right. So together these domains ensure project managers deliver outcomes that drive real business value. Uh, Key focus on the new PMP exam. Key focus of the new PMP exam is more about the real world project manager performance. It assesses how well you apply mindset, skills, and knowledge to deliver value in complex environments. So this value delivery is probably the most enhanced perspective in the new exam, which is basically a new PMBOK, right? PMBOK 8. So talks about value. So it is no more about just delivering the outputs or the deliverables of a project. These deliverables of the project, how do they go ahead, bring about a change in the organization, make some benefit for the organization, etc. So the project manager, I'll touch upon it in the next few slides. The focus is on value delivery, stakeholders, adaptive approach. Adaptive is nothing but your agile, okay, iterative or agile approaches, decision making capabilities, risk management, and continuous improvement. These are the areas where the exam really focuses on, right? So from knowledge recall to performance in action. So apply the concepts in realistic scenarios, analyze situations, and choose the best response. The best is the keyword here. I'll come to that later. Demonstrate judgment, leadership, and adaptability, deliver value in a changing world of work, right? So, traditionally the focus was on tasks, processes, execution of the project, but now the focus is on outcomes, business impact, and leadership in action. So this is a major change in the focus. So you deliver the value. Okay, projects are measured by outcomes and benefits and not just the outputs. I'll take an example later. So they have to be aligned to the business objectives, strategic objectives, your leadership skills, strategic thinking, adaptability, all those things are the emphasis. Uh, okay, now why to bring out the PMBOK 8 itself, right? Again, as we have seen earlier, the exam shifted from the old to new on 9th of July. Somewhere late last year, the PMBOK also shifted from 7 to 8. Okay, so the PMBOK guide had to be revamped. New concepts have had to be brought in because to address the evolution of the project management profession, to reflect modern delivery approaches and the reality of today's projects, to focus on value creation and stakeholder outcomes and outputs over outputs, to integrate emerging trends shaping the future of project management. Okay, so it means broader and more holistic view of project management, stronger alignment with strategy and value, emphasis on leadership, collaboration, and adaptability, preparation for the future of work and project environment. So these are the major areas, because major reasons because of which the PMBOK 8 was revamped. So PMBOK 7 versus 8, I'll not go to the details of this because I doubt many people in this webinar today will be aware of PMBOK 7 or 8, but I will leave it as it is in this. As I said, this presentation will be available on the YouTube channel of Knowlathon, and you can always go and access it there. uh, Pause the video at this juncture, go through this at your leisure, at your pace. Okay, but you can just see the same things: principles, performance domains, AI, sustainability, governance. So these are again and again, they are the real focus in the new PMBOK. Major new things that were brought in were the focus on AI, sustainability, governance, digital transformation, benefits realization, and financial perspective. So these are the again some new themes that were introduced in PMBOK 8. We'll talk about all these things quickly. So what do you mean by artificial intelligence as a new theme? So now AI assisted planning, AI assisted scheduling, ethics and responsible use of AI assisted reporting, AI assisted risk management, human judgment remains essential, right? So all of these areas were fundamentally at the core itself have been integrated with AI. Okay. Earlier AI was not the focus, and now the AI is a focus. To sum it up, the future project manager will know how to work with AI and not compete against AI, right? So these are the areas where AI comes into picture. And then sustainability. So when we talk about sustainability, sustainable project management, as a project manager, when you are designing, planning, executing, monitoring, doing all the project activities, you need to be aware of the sustainability standards. So environmental sustainability, economic sustainability, social responsibility, long-term value creation, etc. So these are the areas which the new PMBOK majorly focuses on specifically in the sustainability area. Governance. So you should always be compliant with the governance and the legal demands. You should always take the accountability. You should always be aligned to the portfolio and the strategic alignment, strategic objectives of the organization. So to develop that vision in the project manager, PMBOK plays a major role. When you study for PMP now, automatically you come across all these concepts and you imbibe those concepts. Unless you mold your thought process, you may not be able to pass the exam. So you need to understand, and needless to say, you need to practice it also after you have completed your PMP certification. Business value is the new success measure. So project execution, customer value, benefits realization, business outcomes, stakeholder satisfaction, and business success. This is the cycle. Earlier, what used to happen when you have undertaken a project? Let me take an example. Let's say you are a project manager in one of the banks, and you are building a mobile application, right? Okay. Uh, Now, as a project manager, in the earlier philosophy of PMP, you do the requirement gathering, requirement analysis, you do the project plan, you do all that, you deliver the mobile app as per the requirement. We say project is closed, project is over, and as a project manager, your responsibility is over. But here, uh, let's take an example. You have completed the mobile app, okay, but after the launch, customers are finding the app too difficult to use, right? They are not able to use it effectively. The app is not designed properly, right? uh, there are a lot of confusions. So what happens? People are not using the app, they are still visiting your branches. Okay. So would you say that this project is successful? Today, in the new PMP philosophy, we will say project has not been successful in spite of delivering a mobile app as per the requirements put forward by the users. Still, the project has failed because the project, what was the end objective of this project? As a bank, I will launch a mobile app. That mobile app will be used by a lot of people. They will do all their transactions online, which will reduce the footfall in the branches. People need to come to the branch, etc. will get reduced. Those situations will reduce, and people will have ease of use, ease of business, etc. So that was the ultimate value that I want to derive. And from because of the ease of use, etc., I'll get more customers. I'll get more revenue. I'll increase my customer base. Okay. So that was the real value. But since though I have delivered the mobile app properly as expected, bank has failed to get the value out of it, right? Today, the new PMP exam and the PMBOK make the project manager aware of the end result, which is your customer stakeholder satisfaction, right? And then it leads to the business success. So one major focus is the understanding in the mind of the project manager that I am not only responsible for the deliverables, but what comes because of those deliverables and what value gets created. I am responsible for that ultimate value creation. So business value is the new success measure, right? This is one important uh, change in the PMP, the new PMBOK and the PMP exam. Okay. Many of your questions will be asked from this angle. Many of the options, this MCQ options will talk about this. So when you are selecting the answer, you have to also keep in mind value creation part, right? So you'll automatically get a correct answer. Uh, what has not changed in the PMBOK? So your leadership, stakeholders, risk communication, agile practices, hybrid delivery, ethics and professional responsibility. These areas are core areas. Fundamentally, in spite of changing world, your leadership qualities will never change. Your stakeholder strategies, your game plans will never change. Your risk management will never change. Communication will always have the same basic fundamental principles, right? Same way, your agile practices, hybrid delivery mechanisms, and ethics and professional responsibility will never change. So these are the core foundational areas of PMP which have not changed. So you need to keep that in mind. Okay. How PMBOK influences the PMP exam? Artificial intelligence, sustenance, governance, business value, scenario-based questions. These are we have seen this, just summarizing here again. These are the areas which have been imbibed or which have been incorporated in your exam. Uh, from knowledge to competence, knowledge leads to, knowledge comes from your learning. Learning induces thought capabilities, thinking capabilities. You become a leader, and then you become a delivery. You deliver the value, right? So knowledge leads to competence, critical thinking, leadership, value delivery, transition to competencies, etc. These are the major areas of PMP thought process. These are the keywords. Why I put them here is that these are the keywords. If you keep those keywords in your mind, many of your thought processes will almost work the way PMI wants your thought processes to work, which will lead to correct answers in the exam. So what competencies does the new PMP exam test? So decision making, leadership, value delivery, stakeholder focus, and application. So ways of working, your project context. What is your ways of working? Your processes. Okay. Then your predictive is basically your waterfall delivery model, which is the traditional way of delivering projects. Agile, hybrid, tailoring. So tailoring is basically, you design your own way of working. Okay. So these are your ways of working. So first competency that they will look for, how well you understand these models. Okay. So this is the first competency. Leadership and team management, that is your, so basically if you see, this is your processes, this is your people, right? So your servant leadership, what is servant leadership, what is emotional intelligence, etc. These are all part of your course. I will not go in the detailed part of it today. Should you choose to do the PMP, you will automatically go through this. But servant leadership, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, coaching and mentoring, these are the areas which from the people domain are the major competencies that are checked in the exam. And your stakeholder management, your how do you identify the stakeholders, how do you engage with them, how do you strategize to engage with them, how do you communicate, how do you handle the regular communication with them, and how do you manage their expectations overall, right? So these are the areas which are these are the competencies which are tested. Risk, change and value delivery, your risk, change management, uncertainty, benefits and value. So these are the competencies again. So I'm just trying to put some keywords here. Uh, I would encourage all of you to go through this presentation at leisure, note down these keywords, do your own understanding and research on these keywords. Scenario based decision making, this is again a competency. This is not competency specifically separately mentioned, but this particular competency tests your comprehension. What happens is that a scenario will be given, you are expected to analyze it, evaluate the options and choose the best response. Sometimes what will happen, there will be more than one options which will be, you will feel that both of them are right, but then the trick is that to find out what is the best one or the first that you should do, and then the second, pehle kya karna hai aapko, right, and then what you need to do, right? So these are the things. So I'll just take one example here. I'll take an example. So for example, this is the question. A software development project is behind schedule due to frequent requirement changes from the customer. The team is becoming frustrated and rework is increasing. The project manager has limited time before the next release. What should the project management do first? Okay. So what happens is you should read the scenario first, understand the context completely, identify the real problem, focus on what PMI is asking you to solve. PMI is not asking you something, PMI is not asking you to something different. They're asking you something specifically. In this scenario, what should the project manager do first, right? Ignore the distracting information. We call it as a noise. Eliminate what is not relevant. PMI is very, very good at providing you unnecessary, useless information and distract your mind. And then select the eliminate the weak options and select the best answer, right? Options are 1, 2, 3, 4, and the best answer is meeting with the customer first helps understand the real need, align this. So these are all the things that the first action that the project manager do in this particular scenario is this, right? So this is the answer is B, right? So always choose the option that addresses the issue, involves stakeholders and delivers value in the best possible way. This is just an example, right? When we do the course together, when I do the sessions, I devote a good amount of time to explain many such scenarios, many such questions, and then take all the options, analyze them, dissect them one by one, and then come to a proper answer. So we try to build that capability in the people who train with us to do this kind of, whatever is mentioned here. We do some good amount of practice also in the class. Uh, Common characteristics of PMP questions. So again, I will just quickly go through because most of them we have seen. All your questions will revolve around these key concepts. Okay. Agile, ethics, change, risks, stakeholders, vendors, etc. So just keep that in mind. Uh, how should you prepare for the new PMP exam? These are the important parts. Build strong concepts, understand the ECO, study PMBOK Guide 8, practice scenario-based questions, take full-length mock exams. Uh, uh, Knowlathon also offers quite a good amount of mock exams and you can practice with that. That should be good enough. So phase one should be building your concepts, then delivery approaches, your agile and predictive approaches, develop the PMI mindset. Start thinking from PMI perspective, what PMI wants to do or PMI wants you to do, right? Practice with purpose, take full length mock exams, review and improve. So you can just keep doing this feedback loop again and again. Uh, Now, what are the common challenges? Challenge number one, information overload. Typically, and this is not today, I did my PMP about 18, 19 years back. Even those days, there were so many resources available on the internet, Rita Malkyahi, and so many things, right? So you will literally feel confused. So too many resources, books, videos, websites, etc. Too many things. They will offer conflicting guidance. They will give you so many different perspectives, and they will give you some perspectives will be at cross with each other, right? You will lose lot of time, all those things, because you will be switching on switching constantly between lot of different resources. And if you don't do a structured study, there will be a problem. So you need to first create a structure. You need to create your own roadmap. We help you to do that, and then with that roadmap in hand, you can overcome these challenges. Okay. uh, Second challenge, memorization versus understanding. People generally go for memorization, right? But memorization should lead to understanding, and you should not stop at that, right? Understanding should lead to your application capabilities, and then exam success, right? So these are the areas that you should go through and read, memorize the keywords. Memorize in the sense, remember, add the recall value, right? Then understand the basic concepts or the philosophy behind those concepts. Okay. Apply or learn how to apply those things. Exam success is yours. Challenge number three, scenario based questions. So situational questions, decision making, adopt PMI mindset. The context of that question matters. Read the questions fully. So again, one more example, a key stakeholder is unhappy with the project schedule and has escalated concerns to senior management, blah blah blah. So now these are the options for you, right? So what you should do, the best answer depends on understanding the context, evaluating the options, and applying the PMI mindset, right? So you need to understand, read each and every word. There is some meaning for each and every word to be there. How that word connects with the word previously and word next, the previous word and the next word, how they connect with each other. See that entire chain of thought, and then look at the answers. Apply the PMI mindset, apply these concepts, you will get the answer. More often than not, you will get a right answer, and then it will be very easy for you to pass. A practical study plan. Again, the same, build strong concepts, practice regularly, rather than let's say, if I say every Sunday, because all of you are professionals, you have your families with you, you have your professional constraints on you. If you say I will study only on the weekends, it would be a bit difficult in my own experience. uh, every day, however small amount of time, nevertheless, like 1 hour, half an hour, 1.5 hours, but do it daily. The consistency will win you the match. Okay. Practice regularly. Regularly means consistently. Review and learn. Keep reviewing, keep learning the concepts. Okay. Analyze every mistake that you do in the mocks. Stay consistent. Right. So maintain a realistic study schedule with regular revision and mock exams to build confidence over time. We follow this philosophy, and when we do the course with our trainees, we do adopt this kind of thing, and we do suggest plans based on this. Why PMP certification continues to matter? Okay. Career growth. Uh, Definitely today, PMP is having the most globally recognized certification in the field of project management is PMP. So it helps you in your career growth, global recognition. Automatically, when you do PMP, your leadership qualities do get enhanced without any doubt. Without any doubt. Your professional credibility, because when you do and when you go and say I am a PMP certified professional, people will know that yes, you are at some basic level, and they will start looking at you only from that level upwards, right? So your professional credibility also is benchmarked with your PMP certification. Okay. uh, why start your PMP journey now? The exam has just now changed. Okay, now it is going to settle down for some time. So if you start now your journey, you can safely say another 2 months, including your course, including your practice, including your studies, etc. You can take a horizon of maximum 2 months and you can easily crack it. So the exam has changed. Build future ready skills. Don't delay your progress. Start with the right foundation. We are there to help you. Uh, so I think Kunal, would you like to take it from here on this?
Surely, sir, definitely. Upon saying all this, you all will be thinking that why we have to learn from Knowlathon and why learn with Knowlathon. So I just want to say on that choosing the right learning partner can make a significant difference in your PMP journey. At Knowlathon, we focus on practical learning and not just completing the syllabus. You will learn from experienced PMI authorized trainers like Bipin sir himself with extensive industry experience, work through realistic project scenarios, stay aligned with the latest examination content or outline and PMBOK guide, and receive a structured guidance throughout your preparation. Our goal isn't just to help you clear the PMP exam, it is to help you become a better project manager while preparing for it. And now, before we open the floor for questions, let's quickly recap today's discussion. There are, sir, can you please shift to the next slide?
Oh, this is the next slide. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, before I will repeat again. Next slide, sir. Next. Not this one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This one. So, before we open the floor for questions, let's quickly recap today's discussion. There are four key ideas we would like you to take away from this session. First is today's PMP exam reflects the way modern projects are delivered. It places greater emphasis on practical application, leadership, and delivering business value. Second, preparing for today's exam requires a preparation strategy that's aligned with these expectations. Third, understanding concepts and developing the right mindset is far more valuable than simply trying to memorize information. And finally, every successful PMP journey begins with confidence, and confidence comes from preparing in the right direction. We hope today's session has helped to take that first step. Now, you can ask your doubts in your in the Q&A box, or you can simply raise your hand and I will unmute you to speak out your doubts.
Yes. So now it's time for the questions. Let them come.
Yes, sir. Uh, sir, you can, Al-Shami, sir, you can unmute your mic and ask your question, sir. You have been unmuted.
Thank you so much. First of
Oh,
all, I'd
ma'am.
like just,
Okay.
yes, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
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 ma'am.
yes, yes. We can hear you.
Uh, yeah, first of all, I'd like just to thank you for this informative session. Actually,
Welcome.
on the PM book 8th edition, it is very informative, and I personally benefited a lot from your experience. I'm planning to just to prepare my examination for and take the the PMP within 2 months, hopefully. But I have different questions. From your experience, if someone has like practical experience from his or her career in project management, how much time does this person should take just to prepare for to be ready to prepare for the PMP examination? This is one thing. The second question, from your contact from different participants who have successfully achieved and taken this exam, which is better, to take the exam online or at the one of the centers, reliable centers that PMI uh,
Yeah.
allocate. So these are the two questions, and thank you so much again for this informative session, and over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gadir. I think you asked very pertinent questions. These questions are very much relevant, and thanks for asking these questions. Your first question is somebody who has been practicing project management for some time. Okay, and on practical reality level, they are managing projects. How much time they will take to be prepared to pass the exam? This was your first question. Okay, let me address that first. Uh, See, first and foremost, the PMI itself puts a precondition for you to apply for the exam, saying that if you are 5 years experience or 3 years experience based on depending on your educational qualifications, then only you can appear for the PMP exam. So yes, they do put a restriction that person who wants to do PMP should have been practicing project management related activities for some time, at least 3 to 5 years. Okay. Uh, so any person who has been doing the project management activities on ground for 3 to 5 years, uh, I would say it becomes very easy for that person to understand the concepts. Okay, because many of the concepts they are actually that person is actually practicing those concepts on ground in real life. Now they are just learning it in a more formal way. Okay, so it becomes very easy for those people. Yes, one thing which and we help you to do that. One thing which is important is to adopt the PMI mindset and to get ready for the exam. See, knowing the concepts is one part, but being able to apply those concepts in the pressure situation of the exam, that is 180 questions in 230 minutes, that is one skill which we help you to build over a period of time. We are there with you. So a straightforward answer to your question, if you have been practicing project management for some time, how much time it will take? I cannot say one solution fits all kind of answer, but somebody who has been doing pretty good should not take more than a couple of months at the max. I hope I answered your question unambiguously, Gadir. Okay, thank you. The next question is, should you take the exam online or go to any of the prescribed centers, etc.? Uh, Honestly, even if you go to the prescribed centers, etc. See, there are two types of exams. One is paper based, one is computer based. All these years, I have seen people taking the computer based exam. Two ways you can do it. You can do it in their prescribed centers where a lot of security, etc., is already built in. You want to do it from your home or you want to do it from some other place, doesn't make really any difference. As long as that place is secure, place is quiet, uninterrupted power supply, uninterrupted internet connectivity. The room in which you are going to sit is locked. There is nobody in the room. When you sit for the exam, they will ask you, the proctor will ask you to show the room, and there should be only one entrance to the room, and that entrance should be locked, and that should always be visible to the proctor, etc. So there are some basic ground rules. If you follow those ground rules, personally, I don't feel any difference between going to a prescribed center or doing it from your own place or some other your company, for example, etc. So that's my personal opinion. Okay, I hope I have answered the second question as well. Thank you. Thank you, Gadir, for your acknowledgement. Okay, any more questions?
Yes, sir. Actually, there is one more question in the Q&A box asked by Mr. Manohar. The question is there any minimum marks for clearing the examination?
Okay, this is again a very good question. And to be honest with you, Nobody knows the answer to this question because PMI doesn't publish any data, any specific figure as to what is the minimum passing marks, or something like that. They will just communicate to you whether you have passed the certification, whether you have passed the exam, and whether you are certified now, right? So one thing that I will tell you is that there are no negative markings. Okay, even if you give a wrong answer, there is no negative marking, which is a big relief if you ask me, a very big relief. But minimum marks for clearing the examination, it is generally said, because PMP is a kind of a close knit community. People generally mention that 60% or 70% is the minimum cutoff, but there is no official communication from PMI. So I will refrain from uh, taking any number as an official this thing number, but maybe 60-70% is a safe guess, my personal safe guess, for the minimum marks for clearing the exam. I hope, Manohar, I have given a satisfactory answer to you.
Also, one more person has raised his hand, sir. Sir, or ma'am, you can ask the question. You have been unmuted.
Yeah, thank you. So my question is that what is the best source of doing mocks? So I have Knowlathon access and I have one mock exam in my account. So I wanted to understand if I should be going for further mocks, what would be the best place to do that mocks?
Okay, I think the mock that Knowlathon offers is quite good one, quite comprehensive. Uh, what I would suggest is that go through that mock, and then you will find the answers which have gone wrong. Try to review, try to find what is the correct answer for those questions, right? Uh, and try to understand why the answer that you have given is wrong and why the answer that is supposed to be right is right, right? So find out that part. So this is one thing. Secondly, on the wide web internet, there are a lot of mocks available. Personally, I cannot say that this mock is good, that mock is good, because again, PMI doesn't give any official mocks unless you pay the money to them, right? They offer 2-3 mocks actually, and that's a separate chargeable offer from their side. It's not included in your exam fees and all that. So obviously their mocks are good, but there are other mocks also are good, but I would not be able to take any specific name as such because there are so many mocks available. End of the day, what matters is how good a grasp you have on the PMI concepts, and PMI again has their own peculiar thought process, right? You need to practice it. See, again, there are certain things which cannot be taught overnight. You need to practice. All that we are saying is that we are there with you during your practice. It's not that you do the 4 days course and then khalas tata bye bye. No, we don't say that. During your practice phase also, we keep supporting you. We are available for discussion. The trainer like me and my colleagues, we are available for discussion. So the straight answer to your question is very difficult for me or for anybody to specifically mention any mocks by name, but there are few good ones. But again, end of the day, officially, uh, there is no mock which can claim officially that we are as per the PMI exam or something, right? So officially cannot be commented upon that part.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Also, sir, Mr. Manohar asked another question. The question is, they are saying after we take up the examination and complete it, is there any answer key available at a later time so that we can get to know how many we would have got the answers correctly, roughly?
No. So that is another, that's what I said, that PMI closely guards the questions and the answers, right? Because then, if the key is available to you, even if they devise 50,000 questions. At some point in time, all those 50,000 questions and their correct answers will be out in the public domain. So PMI is very, very sensitive about, because when you take the exam, they clearly mention that you are not supposed to record it, you are not supposed to take screenshots, etc. Right? So there is no answer key. There is a complete shroud of secrecy. It is a completely opaque thing. We don't know we officially don't know what is the correct answer for a given question. So there is no key, nothing. You just get the result. That's all you get. I think, and,
Uh,
and just to add, Kunal, that is one of the beauties, and that is why one of the reasons, that is why uh, PMP is a very, very sought after and very, very respected credential, because you really need to work. You really need to work hard. It's not impossible, but it's challenging, right? And there are a lot of things that get automatically proven when you complete your, when you certify yourself, right? And this is one of the things, that there is very less amount of information available in the public domain in terms of questions and correct answers, etc. Yes, Kunal, please.
yes, sir. So we have one more question by Mr. Dishant. He's asking, how do we know we are ready for the exams?
Uh, Dishant, again, a good question. Uh, as I said, safely, once you complete the course, you can safely put a couple of months horizon for your uh, actual exam attempt. In those 2 months, what you do, how you do, when you do, so those are the things very important. We start with couple of readings of PMBOK, then we start with couple of readings of some supporting material, etc., for each specific thing, etc. And at some juncture, at some point in time, you start practicing the questions, etc., right? Taking the mocks, etc. So I would safely say, when you are scoring some good amount of at least 85, 90% plus in the mock, and you are able to recollect the major concepts, you are not only recollecting the names, but you are recollecting the philosophy behind those concepts. For example, there is something called as earned value management. Now, earned value management, there is a formula, there is a group of formulas, there is a set of formulas, right? But it is not just the formula. If you are able to envisage things, if you are able to visualize the things, how the EVM works, why the EVM is there, if my earned value, my cost performance index, my schedule performance index, what they actually mean, you should practice it in so many ways and so many times, that that becomes kind of a, visual memory for you. If you close your eyes, you can see the project in front of you, right? So you need to practice. At some juncture, you yourself will feel that, yes, now I understand the concepts, the philosophy behind the concepts, and the mocks are also pretty easy for me. And the most importantly, when you do the practice, it is basically, as we have seen in one of the slides, you need to choose the best answer. It is not only the knowledge part, but it is also the exam taking strategy, exam taking tips and tricks, which we will tell you, but you will imbibe them in your blood when you do multiple practices, right? So there will be a time, probably around 1.5 months of sustained, consistent practice. Okay. About 1.5 months to 2 months, somewhere in between, you yourself will get a confidence that, okay, now I'm pretty much confident. And then you can safely go and appear for the exams. I hope, Dishant, this gave you some clarity.
Sir, we have got two more questions by Mr. Manohar and Mr. Dishant respectively. Mr. Manohar is saying that I am not a manager, but at a senior level, do I need to be manager only to take up the PMP certification?
Okay. Uh, okay. What PMI says is that you need not have a designation of manager. What you should be doing is more important, right? I may have a designation of, say, uh, uh, project coordinator or some other designation, completely different designation altogether, right? But PMI says uh, in the last 3 years, if you are a graduate, that is university degree holder, or if you are a diploma holder. So if you are a graduate or a university degree holder, you should be doing the last 3 years, you should be doing project management or leading activities. My designation may not be project manager. I may be designated as completely different thing, but I should be doing project, some part of project management, right? Because project management is a vast set of activities. So I should be doing some activities within the project management domain, right? So PMI doesn't explicitly ask you to be a manager, to be designated as a manager in your current or previous organizations. Only thing is that you see that this whole idea, again, the thing is that the designations don't matter. What matters is your ground reality experience. You should be, because unless you have those, that is what Gadir asked the first question, that unless you have the how the things work, how the projects work, what are the different ways that you handle the projects, okay, what are the different skills you need to have to handle a project, right? You may not be executing all those skills, but some part of it you must be having. So you should be, in that case, what happens is you are able to connect your knowledge to the concepts being discussed in the class, right? And that is what propels you further. So yes, the straightforward answer to your question, you need not be a manager, you need not be designated as a manager. All that you need to have is that you should have, in the last 3 to 5 years, depending upon your educational qualification, you should have dabbled in some kind of a project management role, project management activities in your current and past organizations. So that's all they ask for.
Sir, Mr. Dishant is asking that it's not an open book like Prince 2.
No, it is not. Absolutely not. You are not allowed to carry any books. You are not allowed to carry any papers, etc. Nothing. It's not at all a open book exam like Prince 2. Very
Anyone
clear.
else has a question? Either you can raise your hand or just simply put your question in the Q&A box and they will be answered. Anybody else? Okay, no worries. I guess it's the end, sir, and I don't think so there are any such questions
Yeah,
anymore.
and in case Kunal, they may have questions later on when they're thinking about this webinar. We already have a number on the screen where they can connect with us. Our team, in fact, you can connect with me as well. If you connect with Knowlathon, you can connect with me as well. And email and etc. All those things will be published. So they can ask the questions later as well. I
Yes,
think
sir.
one more question has come.
Let me see, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Manohar is saying, my friend is presently not working, for he was laid off around a couple of years ago. I'm asking
Mhm.
on his behalf, can he take up the PMP certification?
Yes, I'm giving this answer with lot of assumptions. Uh, uh, it is not compulsory that the person should be employed currently, etc. If that person has taken a sabbatical or person has been laid off and trying to get a new job, etc., still PMI doesn't have any problem. PMI has certain prerequisites before your application to appear for the exam is accepted. Go through those prerequisites. There are conditions which is clearly mentioned on the PMI website. If you if you fulfill those conditions and those prerequisites, PMI doesn't have any concern about whether you are currently employed or not employed, etc. I think yeah, Shraddha has put the this thing. Yeah, Gadir has, I think, again raised her
Yes,
hand.
yes, sir. Ghadir ma'am has raised their hand.
Yes, Gadir. I think probably by mistake she might have raised her hand.
No, no, it's not by mistake. Thank you
Ah,
so
okay.
much. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just trying to unmute myself, but I couldn't. Now it's activated. Thank you
Okay.
so much. I have one question, as you
Yes.
have very long experience in PMP, and I'd like to learn and benefit from your experience, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My question is, actually I've joined different groups on PMP, and
Hmm.
I see that some of the participants who have taken the PMP exam and passed and obtained above target on three domains. Some of them shared their experience, and they said that relying on different resources, videos, is very useful and beneficial for them, as they get the experience from different perspectives and different backgrounds. Some of the participants actually listed lots of resources. I myself, when I read these resources that they relied on, I feel, oh, this is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
confusing. Shall I
Yeah.
go through all these resources? And between you, frankly speaking, I felt very, anxious, because they listed a lot of resources, and I did, for me, I dedicate maximum 3 till 5 hours max
Mm,
daily, because I have my work, I have my study, as
mm,
I'm doing my work in my dissertation these days. So it would be so difficult to go through all these resources, multiple resources.
mm.
And they went through all these resources. So from your experience, is this, when a learner or someone who intends to take the PMP exam, is it useful for the person to take and to go through different videos, resources, tutors on PMP, or what do you suggest, please? Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. Uh, Again, a very good question, especially in one of the slides, I specifically mentioned that, information overload or resource overload, etc. Okay. So, in connection with that particular slide, this is a very, very pertinent question. So Gadir, I'll try to be as straightforward on this question as possible, because this is again kind of a personal uh, preferences kind of a question. Okay. As you rightly said, that some people you are connected with have found that uh, connecting with multiple resources has helped them, whereas you yourself don't think so. You have a different opinion about it. So the point number one is that it's a personal comfort, personal choice for everybody to decide what they do and how they do it, right? If too many resources, too many options are confusing you, I would say play it safe. Uh, Go through all the resources, pick out those resources which you feel are the best ones, maybe two or three, and then restrict your reading to that. Otherwise, what risk you carry is getting confused, and it is, I would say it is better safe to be than be a sorry figure kind of a thing, right? So I would take my chances more on those two, three proven or the resources which I feel comfortable with, rather than reading 10, 15 different books, different articles, different mocks, etc., and then getting lost in all of that, right? So the slide that I presented talked about overload. Okay. It doesn't say don't go through multiple resources. It says don't do the overload part. Now, what is the definition of overload is a personal preference for each one. I would say, and again, I'm not going to talk about myself as a trainer. I'm going to talk about Knowlathon as a knowledge provider. Philosophy at Knowlathon, again, the same thing is that it is not that this 4 days of training or 35 contact hours of training is done and then masalama. No, we don't do that, right? We believe that people uh, come to us to get some advice, get trained, get handholding, get support to get certified. Works well for us as well, because every successful candidate brings in more references to us, right? So forget about that business part anyways. But again, I always tell my classes that I am a PMP certified professional for since 2008, so almost 18 years now. Uh, so a part of my PMP certification responsibilities is spread the knowledge, right? Get more people into the fraternity. So for me as a person and Knowlathon as an organization, in both our personal and organizational philosophies, we help people. So you need to first decide for yourself what are you going to work with, and then to choose those resources. We might help you, and we might be there to help you all along this process. So again, the summary of my answer is personal choice. We might help you, we might be able to help you to decide the resources, but personal choice. Thank you. Thank you, Gadir.
Also, due to time constraints, we will be selecting only one questions. The like, ma'am has raised her hand. Also, if you all have any further doubts, I request you to please reach out to us. We have mentioned our contact details as well as the social media handles in the Q&A box. Upon saying that, ma'am, you can ask the question. You are unmuted.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to understand if by chance we don't clear the exam, when is the next time that we can appear for the exam?
I think you can take one more attempt within a
Oh,
year or 6 months. I think it is within the year.
okay.
But my strong advice is that don't start with that mindset. Uh, Honestly
Okay.
speaking, PMP is uh, tough, but not impossible. Okay. What you need to do is that you need to, as I have said in some of the last slides, that structure your study plan, structure it with complete thought process. But once you structure it, follow it to the T, follow it to the last detail that possible, right? And put some consistency, put some tips and tricks that we can discuss when we actually engage. We can discuss that, but don't start with that mindset. When will I be able to take the another attempt and all that? Keep that aside. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Start with the focused and strong mindset. That is what I would advise you to do, ma'am.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, and as Kunal said, we are there to help you. And my name is Bipin Karyakarte. I am there on LinkedIn with exactly the same name. You can connect with me over the LinkedIn and discuss with me also whatever, and we can continue this discussion further.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate.
Kunal,
Uh,
just one small question I will take. Manohar has asked, as on today, if we are an PMP certification, are there so many openings so that you can be getting the job after certification? Yes, I can say very confidently, especially the Middle East market, the US centric world, the Southeast Asia, especially in banking industries, software industries, the worth of PMP certified person is really very high. Of course, it is not the only criteria what you have been doing in your career all these years, but if you also have a PMP certification, that adds a lot of additional value to your profile. So the answer is yes, and a very firm, strong yes.
Uh, so as all the amazing Q&As are now over, firstly, thank you so much, sir, for answering those questions.
My
And
pleasure.
before we wrap up today's session, remember I mentioned we would be sharing an exclusive attendee benefit. So, as a thank you for joining us today, thank you guys for spending your evening with us. We hope today's session has helped you understand the current PMP exam with greater clarity and given you the confidence to plan your preparation in the right direction. We wish you all the very best for your PMP journey and we look forward to learning with you again. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you and goodbye. We hope you find the webinar valuable and we are offering an exclusive attendee benefit. Don't forget about that.
And thank you on my part also. Thank you for attending this and giving us an opportunity. Thank you, everyone.